Okay, so let me share my screen so that you can also see what I'm doing. Yep. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, boss.
Okay, so we will start with cell referencing. I'll actually start with cell referencing. Let me start trans function F5. Okay.
Inside is inside the that is that table we're using now. The functions, that one that is on the platform.
Yes, 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 yes. So but we'll just start cell referencing. So now today's topic we'll be looking at cell referencing in today's topic. Uh see the outlines that we have, sorry. That's cell referencing, types of cell referencing. We'll also touch outliers, types of outliers. Then before we go back to functions. Okay. I probably think maybe next class I'll do logic rule, not logic rule. So by the time we are done with logic rule, we'll enter into pivots and power pivots, and then uh, dashboards in Excel. Then we'll move from there to Power BI. That's what we just have. Okay. A Saturday next week we'll cover that pivots, power pivots, and then move to dashboards, and then move to Power BI. So now cell referencing. What is cell referencing? You are seeing my slide. Cell referencing is a method of referencing or referring to a cell or range of cells within a formula in Microsoft Excel. So cell referencing, from the word referencing, you are trying to refer to cell and range of cells in a formula. It can be in a formula, it can be also in what a function in a Microsoft Excel. Remember that last classes that we have done, we told us about a cell, what a cell is, as the most important part of Microsoft Excel feature, and it is the intersection between row and column. So now when you try to reference a cell in a formula, that is what we call, when you try to refer to a cell in formula, that's what we call cell referencing. I don't know if you can remember the last time we did summation, that I tried to sum using a formula. Let me do that again. Let me go back to Microsoft Excel. You can just open your functions, just add what do you call it? Add a new worksheet to it, and then let me show you what I meant. That time we had 10,000, 12,000, I mean 120,000, 150,000, and 200,000, and we try to like sum this using functions and formula. We already know what functions and formula is. Formula is the one set of written arithmetics that you write to help you do what, perform calculations. So you are the one that write it yourself. Why functions are what? Formulas that are what? Embedded in Excel. Predefined formulas that are embedded in Excel. Okay. So now we tried to do this, and I said, okay, since we did it this way, 10,000 plus 120,000 plus 150,000 plus 200,000, and we got our answer 480,000. This is a formula because I was the one that actually wrote it myself. I didn't like perform using a function. So we also did it with doing function sum, and then we referenced these. This is referencing. This is what cell referencing is, because this is, you are referencing a cell or range of cells in a formula or function in Microsoft Excel. So sum C3 to C6 shows you in your formula bar. Okay, can you hear me, Martins? Hello, Martins, can you hear me? Hello,
Yes,
Martins.
please, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So it shows you
Yes,
in
I
your
can
form.
hear you,
It shows
please.
you. It shows in your formula bar that you are referencing the range of C3 to C6. This is cell referencing. Okay. And also we did something else. There's something I did at that time. I also did it by picking this plus and using the operator plus. Remember I told you something about operators. I don't know if you can remember. I said operators are what are symbols that help us to perform our mathematical expressions and formulas in Microsoft Excel. And
Yes,
I listed
yes.
a lot of them. Okay. So now, but I'm still going to show you what some operators mean. I think I still let me check if I can see it. I can exactly. So now see some operators we have. We have increment and decrement operators. That time I listed them, I didn't actually tell you the class they belong. So we have increment and decrement operators. That's the plus and minus. You understand? We have bitwise operator. This and, or so. Or XOR. You understand? They call it ZOR. And, or ZOR. Okay? So we have assignment operators. We have logical operators. The and, or ZOR. They're also logical operators. Then we have relational slash comparison operators. That's the greater than or less than or equal to. They are relational. They are trying to compare. Is this greater than this or less than this? Or you say, is this equal to this? Then we have special operators. Special operators are like the asterisks that can also form as what? Wild card. Then we also have other arithmetic operators. So these are like those operators that were listed. These are the class they belong to. So if you have these topics at your fingertips, you just know it. Because there are some classes or data analysis classes you will go to, they won't actually teach you these. But it's more important you get these topics foundational so that by the time you are diving deep into SQL, like when you're going to structured query language, start learning it, you will understand, yes, I met this topic somewhere. It is not looking new for me. You have the foundation and you can actually lay on the foundation to get to where you want to go to. So I just wanted to show you the classification of those operators. Okay. So that let's go back. So now let me go back to the presentation. So now I've already shown you cell referencing, method of referring cells or range of cells within formula in Excel. So the importance is it helps for dynamic calculations and it helps us update data when it changes. So when you perform a cell reference, when you actually perform your calculations on my functions or formulas in Excel using while referring a cell, when the data changes, you can easily go and what perform dynamic calculations and update it immediately. Okay. So types of cell referencing, we have three main types. We have the relative cell referencing. You can have your pen and paper and jot down. We have the absolute cell referencing, and we have the what mixed cell referencing. So I'm going to be doing this. We're going to be talking on three of these cell references. The main two ones that is always used is the relative and absolute. Mixed is also used sometimes, okay? But we're going to understand it very well. So now there's something I want to let you note. Whenever you want to note cell referencing, make sure you understand that you are going to be looking at your name box. You were in the first class now when we defined the Excel features and the parts. Name box and the formula bar. These two places, these two parts of Excel workbook or in Excel background are really, really important. Your name box, which shows you the cell address of every active cell, and your formula bar, you know what the function of formula bar is, which displays the values and sometimes the functions of every active cell, okay, and can also help you perform or like alternate or perform some changes on a cell, okay. So these are two main places you'll be looking at: your name box and your what formula bar, if you want to really understand cell referencing. Okay, so now the first one is relative cell referencing. Now, definition. This is default in Excel. Just know it as default. Excel comes with relative cell reference. Default in Excel. So whenever you reference cells, like let's go back to Microsoft Excel to do this practical. Relative cell referencing is the default type of reference. So whenever someone asks you a question, relative cell referencing, what do you understand by it? I'm trying to go. Where is that stuff that we opened now? Okay, sheet one. Now we have this. We are using this example now. These figures. Okay, let me call it figures, and we have this. Let me make it. Let me make it look good. Control 1. Control 1. And then let me make it number, add 1,000 separators, and do this. Okay, so now we know we did perform a formula here. We also we perform function here, and we performed another formula here. Okay, so now this one was without referencing cell. This one was referencing a range of cells. This one was not range. This one was referencing. This one is range. Whenever you see range, range is when you see that column. C3 is to C6 is a range. This referenced a range. This reference many cells, because when you click inside, you will see the cells that are referenced. But inside this one now, can you hear me? Are you hearing me? Inside this one is a range. When you click it, you see the range is referenced as a range. You see the difference. This is a range of cells. It selects it as a box. This one, sorry, escape. This one selects the cells that were actually referenced. So this reference range, this reference cells, this reference range. So now, we told ourselves that relative reference is default form of cell referencing in Microsoft Excel. And this is it. This is relative reference. This relative reference. You actually have the cells referenced by selecting them. You understand? So there is nothing you can do on relative. It's just the default form of referencing that Excel came with. So now that's what all about relative reference. So now let's go to the second one, absolute reference. So this is example. When you copy a formula, A1 plus B1 from C1 to D1, it just automatically adjusts. Okay. So now let's copy this. Let's control function F5 back again. Let's copy that function and see what happens. Okay. Let's copy that function and see what happens. This function that we have here. See this function that is here. Let's copy it. Control C and paste it here. See what happens. It's 0. Why is it 0? See what happened. It changed. Relative. Are you understanding, Martins?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, exactly. So now what actually happened? Here, we try to reference C3 plus C4 plus C5 plus C6. Abi? Then we performed this on column E, isn't it? Now I've copied it and come to G. What happened? It started referencing E7 plus E8. It followed what we did here. Plus E9 plus, because it changed. It changed and it's giving us 0. Because what happened is with a cell on its own, IntelliSense felt like, oh, since you are copying this to this place, maybe let me do the same thing on column E. It just automatically changed to the relative reference, to default. But you now, as a data analyst, you should know when to perform absolute reference and relative reference, or when to use both of them. So let's go to absolute reference. Absolute reference, pick up. Absolute reference. Now, absolute reference, references that do not change when copied or filled. So now, it is opposite of relative. Relative reference is the default of Excel, okay? So when you copy a cell without locking it, we use this symbol, dollar symbol to lock, and you copy it relatively to another cell, active cell, it will automatically change and reference different cells because it's relative. But now, absolute cell referencing, you will need to use your dollar symbol to lock it. So when you lock it with your dollar symbol, it will not change. It remains fixed. So example is $A$1. I'm going to show you what this means, okay? stays as $A, $1 when copied to another cell. Let's try something on absolute reference using back here. So now, let's say now I have these figures, okay? Let me delete all these. Delete. And I'm trying to multiply them by 5%. Watch, equal to 5%. See what I'll do here? Equal to 5%. Mind you, whenever you are trying to do something on Excel, remember I said that we told ourselves that every function or formula begins with equal to sign. See, in cases of percentages or rates, you know what rate is? When we do simple interest, principal times time times rate all over 100. So these figures are, let's take them as let's take it to currency, okay? Let's take it to currency. Let's make it currency data type accounting. Let's say this is a money received, and we're trying to find the 5% of each of this money on this, and call it as interest. Okay. Now, watch what will happen. I'll perform this using relative reference, and also perform it using what do you call it? Absolute reference.
Absolutely.
So we'll do this equal to this multiplied by this, Abi. Enter. 500 naira is the interest that this should be having. And then I will say, what is now the outcome? Outcome is what? Interest plus this equal to this plus this, Abi. Enter. See what happens. I will fill this down and then expand this. This one's actually got the correct one. It gave me the correct answer, but these other ones did not. Why? If you look at our function on the formula bar, remember a cell is the intersection of what? Row and column. So I told you the two places you'll be looking at is name box and formula bar. Name box and formula bar. Name box shows you the address of this active cell. This is the active cell. Intersection of column D, row 3. That is where you have the cell address. But on the formula bar, you are seeing the function or formula that was applied. C3 is not what? The cell that is referenced. C3, what is C3? 10,000 multiplied by what? F1. What is F1? 5%, okay? Then if you go down, you have your column D4 on your name box. Now, what is happening? C4, which is 120,000, multiplied by what? F2. F2 is what? 0. See what happened? F2 is what? 0. And anything multiplied by 0 is what? 0. The reason why we are not seeing 0 here is we formatted this as accounting. And when you format anything as accounting, instead of 0, it will have it as dash. Bankers use this data type for financial data, okay? So this is serving as financial data accounting. So now what happened was Excel had this as what? Relative cell reference. Okay? Let's perform this same thing again using absolute. I'm copying this again here. Normally we are supposed to do absolute. So what I'll do is again, see, I'll multiply this times this. Then I will lock it. To lock it, you use the function F4 on your keyboard. Function F4. Some people's own, some keyboards are direct. You can just press F4 and to lock. My own is, you must apply function F4. It will lock. Watch what happens. Now, I have in front of my F $sign and in front of my $1 sign. This is absolute. Absolute reference is when you have $2 symbols before the column and before the row. Remember, I told you we need to understand name box and cell address. This F1 is intersection of what? Column F, row 1. But when I apply $sign on before F and before row 1, it makes it absolute reference. If I press enter and then fill down, see what I'll do. And then what? Fill down. Are you seeing what is happening? I will get my what? Interest rates. And I will get what? The outcomes. Plus this. It gives me a what? Outcome. So now, this was able to work because we performed absolute reference. So now, absolute reference, because we have locked it, if we copy it down, that's what I'm just trying to show you. We actually try to copy this thing down, and it remained the same. It did not change. But here in relative, you copied F1 down. You copy the formula you have here down, and it changed. So it changed. Why this one is changing? Why this cell that is picked here is changing? This one is changing. But on our own, as data analysts, we knew that we wanted to lock this alone. So that's something about absolute reference. In absolute reference, you try to lock your cells from changing. And you as a data analyst, when performing mathematical calculations or any kind of formula and co, you should know which cell you should actually turn to absolute, or which you should actually turn to what? Relative. Okay? Then the last one is, but not the least, is mixed. So now mixed combines both relative
Sorry,
and what?
Chief. Before you continue that, sorry, Chief.
Okay,
Yeah, can you go back to that Excel sheet you were using, please?
okay, yeah,
Yeah, so I want to confirm, like the first, the F, if I'm not making it, that's F1.
yes.
The Yeah, so with this F1 now, if probably we put something in F3, does it mean that to copy it in
Okay,
the
let's
first
put
table
something.
we did?
Let's put something else. Let's put something else.
Exactly.
Let's call
Let's
it
put
instead
like
of
10%
10%.
now instead of.
Okay, so equal to 10%. It has changed now. I see that it has copied. When you come here now, you see it's C5F3.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank
Exactly.
you.
So
But
if you copy,
if we have locked the 0.5, then everything is going to be 0.5. And if
exactly,
we lock 0.1, which is 10%, everything is going to run in
everything will be
0.1.
0.1. Yes. So now if you come here
Okay, so
and
that's
lock
different between the
this, if you
absolute
come here
and
now and
relative.
lock, if you come here and lock, let's lock it, and then fill it down. You will still see exactly
Okay.
200,000 is 10% of 200,000 is what? 20,000. Are you seeing it? So
Yes,
that's
please.
difference between relative and absolute. So whatever you are locking remains locked. It doesn't change. Even if we start from this, let me go back, press Z. If you come here now and lock this C3, eh, it remains
Yes.
C3 forever. See what will
Okay,
happen.
that means is the 10,000 that the figures will be taking note of then.
Exactly. If you lock this C3, which is 10,000, it will take 10,000. I see it.
Yeah, so it's because the other numbers are zero, that's why it's not coming up.
Exactly. So if we lock this, let me lock this too. It will give us 500 naira in all. So
Yes,
sometimes
please.
when you perform your calculation, you'll be saying, maybe I was trying to multiply 5% of all this. How can it be 500? You have to understand cell referencing, looking at name box and your formula bar. I think this class is about to end. Let me see. We'll quickly jump into another. This. Uh, let me see. How many minutes? Did I say it's about to end?
Yeah, they say it's about to end in 5 minutes.
Okay, let me quickly create a sharp new meeting. I'll send it to
Another
you.
link, yeah?
I'll send it to you personally.
Okay, Chief. Okay, Chief.
Yeah, instant. So we can join that one now. Okay. You can hang up from this one. I'll send this one to you now. Okay, can you see my screen again? Let me go back to what I was doing. Okay, can you see my screen?
It's,
Imagine.
it's, it's loading. It's loading. Showing. Okay, yes, I can see now. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the two difference between relative and absolute. So I'll do Control Z, Control Z. Then mixed. So now see mixed. Let's see mixed. So let's see mixed. So in mixed now, let's do mixed. This is let's go alternate HMC is to this is absolute reference. This is relative referencing. Okay, and what am I typing? And 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 then let's do absolute. Absolute says it combines what? The both of them, right? So now let's say we have this. Let's take it here. We have these figures and we have interest and outcome. Let's go back to. So now absolute says combines both relative and absolute referencing, where only one part is fixed and the other one adjusts. So now look at what happens. So only one part is fixed and the other one what adjusts, isn't it? So now it's still looking at your name box to understand very well. Your name box, which is column, which is the address, which shows you the address of the active cell, the intersection of what row and column. So in absolute reference, only one part is locked, the other part keeps moving. So let's try and see what we can get from absolute. Example is when they gave you this $1 before a column and a row, or a column and then $1 before what a row. So let's try and see what we can make out from that. Let's say we have these figures now, and we have these figures, and we have this. Let's multiply this by. This has. Okay, yes. Let's say this has 120,000 for all. You get? Are you with me? And on various interest rates. On various what interest rates, you have rates for the first one 5% equal to 5%, second one equal to 10%, third one equal to 15%, the last one equal to 20%. Can you hear me, Martins? Martins?
Yes, I can hear. Yes, I
Okay,
can hear
yes.
you. I'm with you.
So now we're going to apply. We're going to now. We want to get a total figures of this 120,000. You see that 120,000 is not changing, right? It isn't changing, but the rates are actually changing. So we perform relative we will perform mixed referencing on that. So we do this equal to this multiplied by this. See what will happen. I can lock only this first one, column M, and I press enter. See what happens. It gives me the right stuff. So see what happens. It's still column M, row 4, right? It did not change. It changed, right? But this first one was what? Column M, row 3. So I only locked M so that it would not shift to N. I don't know if you understand me. Do you understand me?
No, I didn't get that. You said you only locked the M.
Yes. It didn't shift to N.
But we have M3 to M6 or about M3 to M6. So I don't get.
Let me do it again. Okay. But this, instead of doing it this way, let me copy and paste and transpose this. I'll copy this and transpose this. Alternate H V T transpose. I've transposed that, okay? I'm going to delete this. So now I have the rates like this. So it's expected to pick from here, Abi. I seen it. So I will come and do equal to this multiplied by this. Abi? Now I will lock 2. See what I'm locking? 2. Remember I told you should be looking at. See what you should be looking at, though. Always look at.
Yes.
Look at name box first
Times
before you look at your formula bar. Your name box is showing you
N1, Abi N3.
N2, intersection of column N, row 2. So at the moment, if you look at the rates are only on row 2, isn't it? Because I transposed it, I kept it to be on column instead of row. Remember, before it was like this. See what it was like before. Now it was like this before. Alternate
Yes.
and V. Sorry. Alternate H V. What's happening now? Alternate H. Okay, it didn't copy. I'm coming. Cut. Alternate H V T. But it's in the crease. So let me do it. It was the crease. So I had to copy and transpose it. Copy, transpose. Let me delete this first. Come on. This was what I had before. And I had to cut and then transpose. Home. Transpose is this. Okay. There's no transpose for cut option. Sorry. It's not showing. So I had to copy and transpose this. Transpose is like when you change the order of arrangement. So here it was arranged in rows. Row 2, 3, 4, 5. Abi? So I had to transpose it to be on columns. Column N, O, P, Q, R. So the transpose is here. Transpose. And I had it here. And I deleted this one. Then now I'm trying to find out 120,000 in these various interest rates. 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20% on columns. And I told you that I should make sure you watch your name box, which is here, and your formula bar. So now we have seen that these percentages are only on row 2. They did not change to other rows. So let's perform a mixed reference so that we can see how it works. See what is going to happen. Equal to this H3 multiplied by what? This. Now, since we are seeing our formula bar, N2. What is N2? This, right? We are going to lock only 2. 2 is row. 2 is the second row. Are you hearing me? So you just click inside. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It seems your network was hanging at a point for almost a minute. Your network was hanging.
Are you hearing me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but it was skipping before.
Oh, you can hear me now, right? You can hear me, right? Is it skipping now?
No, no, no. It's now seamless.
Okay, so it's stable. Okay. Um. So, like I said, we're going to lock. We're going to lock the row two. That's two. Okay. We're going to lock row two, and then allow the columns to spin over. Are you getting it? We're going to lock this row so that it does not spin. Why are we locking row? So that it will remain on row two. So it doesn't spin and come down, and it does not spin and come down. Before here it was we allowed it to spin and come down, okay? But here we're going to lock the row so that this function maintains this row, but it will alternate the columns. That is why we're applying $sign before two, which is the row, and allowing the column n to be without a $sign. And we'll click OK, enter. See what will happen. Okay, this what happened here. Why this stuff? Why did it spin over? Okay, I'm trying to see what happened. So, I mean, it's from my Excel settings. It's supposed to spin now. Oh, it should be from my Excel settings. It should be from my Excel settings. Sorry. Let me see what happened again. This should be it should be from my Excel settings. Sorry, like there's a setting I'm supposed to do on file. I only made it to options, formulas, advanced, say formulas D. I don't want to go there and rechange it. Let me recopy it and paste it down. Copy and transpose down. Alternate H VT. Okay. First one is this. Now I'm going to change it to. I'm going to delete. Sorry, I'm going to delete this. Shift cells up. Cut. Paste. Okay. So let me do this again. Equal to 120,000 multiplied by this M3. So now, when we apply a relative of this, when we apply a relative, not when we apply a lock, we will only lock the column M and leave rows to alternate. Can you see what happened? If you see, the column M is locked, while what do you call it? The row remains. So let's see if we can do the same here. See, let's change this to 140,000, 170,000, and then 200,000. And then let's see something. Let's lock here. I'm coming. Let me lock here and see something. Watch what happens. So see what is happening. Did you see what we did here first? We locked row 3. Martins, can you hear me? Hello, Martins, can you hear me? Martins. Wow. Am I talking to myself? Martins. Hello, Martins. Martins, are you
The
with me?
video is back to hang,
Wow.
You should be, yes, yes. I said it was hanging thing. At your end, you should be able to see it. It's that Google Meet used to say when you are losing the network.
He's showing me when I'm losing network, but because I'm not looking at I'm already presenting now, so I wouldn't be seeing. But can you see me now? Can you see what I'm doing? I'm having network problem.
Yes, your screen is back. Yes,
My screen is back, Abby. Okay, fine. So now see what I did
yes,
here.
please.
Okay. See what I did here. See what I did here. I locked row 3. H$3 is locking this row. So if I copy it down, see what will happen. Did you see what happened? Can you notice what is happening here? Can you notice what's happening, Martins?
Yes,
See now, it's taking only 120,000 to multiply these guys.
yes,
You get? It's taking
yes.
120,000
Only
to
the one
multiply
twenty thousand is multiplying the different rates. Okay.
exactly with 120,000. It's not taking these guys so because if you see this formula now, see what happened here in the formula bar. It's still H$3. Next one is H$3. So what did happen is only took only this 120,000 to multiply the different rates. Reason why he did that is what we applied a mixed a mixed reference on the first column H. Instead of That's why it's very important as a data analyst when you're applying referencing, you need to understand which one you will lock and which you should not lock. Now, this person, let's assume that this data analyst mistakenly locked only row 3. So, but left column H open. So now, what is happening is it's only taking 120,000 to multiply the different rates. Are you getting it? Then, here, he actually performed the right thing. He locked column M and left the rows. So he can be able to alternate on different row, M4, M5, and what M6. But here he found he made it wrong by only locking the row 3 and left column H. So now let's correct what is supposed to be here. We're going to take off this $sign from 3 and lock what? Only column H. And then we'll say okay, enter. Now see what will happen. The values will become right. These are right values now. When you go down to see the formulas, the cells that were referenced, you'll see is H4, which is this 140,000. The next one is H5M5, which is this and which is that, which is correct. So when we do our outcome equal to this plus that, 126,000. We got it right. So that's it for relative referencing, alternate HMD.
Chief, a quick one.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Mixed.
yeah. So in the interest, yeah, like if you click on 25 now, when I check the formula bar, I think it's showing $sign somewhere in there.
If I click on where?
For example, if you click the 40,000 under interest, if you check the formula bar, I think it's
14,000
showing
under interest.
$sign in there. Yeah, this formula bar is showing $sign, H4 times dollar M4. Why is there dollar there?
Exactly. That is relative, that is mixed referencing. Remember I told you mixed referencing is when you combine the relative and the absolute. What is
Are you
absolute?
there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm here. Oh, am I having it? Can you hear me now?
Yes, okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I say in why it's showing dollar sign before the column is mixed referencing. You know, we told ourselves first thing relative reference, and we told ourselves relative reference is the default type of referencing in Microsoft Excel. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now, and in relative referencing, nothing is locked. You see, nothing is locked in relative reference so that you can be able to perform things. And we told you that in relative reference, when you copy something, a cell, when you copy a formula down, the cells change. Just like we have here, C3 times F1. It is changing. It turns to C4 times F2. Abi? C5 times F3. It keeps changing. That's for relative because it's default type of referencing for Excel. Then we move from relative to absolute referencing. We apply a locked dollar sign for both the column and the row so that you can keep it fixed and it doesn't change. And we told you that when you apply absolute referencing, can you hear me? When you apply absolute referencing, it does not change even if you copy the cells down.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm hearing you,
Yes,
sir.
it doesn't change. Now, that's why I told you that for you to understand this referencing, you need to be very conversant of your what name box and your what formula bar. Name box will show you the address of the cells that is active, and show you then in the formula bar, which is now showing you what is actually locked and the cells that are referenced. So this name box, its active cell is D10 abi, and then the formula, what we are seeing is C10, which is this, times F1. And we locked the column. You know, I told you the same dollar is used to lock. We lock column. So when you keep dollar before F and dollar before the row, one, it locks it. It will not change. If you go down, it remains the same thing. If you go down, it remains the same thing. If you go down, it remains the same thing. Now, in mixed reference, we apply both relative and absolute together. It's combination of two of them together. Are you getting? That is why you can either have one of these two locked, the column or the row. For here now that you say it now, one is locked, column H is locked, which means that anything you are performing is only on column H. Are you understanding? The row is not locked. Column H, from the first formula, column H is locked. So it's telling Excel, please, whatever you are trying to run, focus on column H, but alternate the rows. I don't know if you understand it. That's the question you're asking.
Okay, so in relative, like you mentioned now, so we are focusing on column H. Yes, it's locking column H, yeah?
Yeah, that's the mix. Yes, it's locking column H.
Okay.
It's locking column H. It's mixed. Mixed referencing combines relative and absolute. So relative is that one of them is not locked. You know, relative normally is both in relative referencing, you don't lock anything. You understand?
The
So it combines
default
relative and absolute.
Excel.
So absolute here is that we make column H absolute. So column H becomes fixed. Dollar before the H, it becomes fixed. Then the rows now became relative. It changed. Are you understanding? So now it changed from row 3 to row 4. But the same H remained. So that's one thing about relative referencing. It's a combination of both absolute and relative reference. But you on your own, you should be able to know when to use them. Use mixed referencing. But most times, what people use is this relative and absolute reference. When I'm calculating commissions that I do for all these sales agents, you can't know how to do those kind of calculations if you don't know how to do cell referencing in Excel. So cell referencing is really important for anybody that is into financials and accounting. You need to know how to actually reference a cell, like perform your absolute reference, perform your relative reference, know when to use mixed reference. If you don't know them, you cannot do that calculations. I think I'll give you guys a big tax on this by the end of this class. I'll drop a tax, a big
Okay, the reference, yeah.
mathematical stuff, yes, for us to solve using all the referencing techniques. So by the time you do them, I think you will get better. So that's
Yeah.
that for referencing. I think we're done for referencing. Any other question? Let me check if I have. Okay, we're going to outliers. I don't know if I've done outliers. Were you there when we did outliers? Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. What
Okay.
did you say?
I don't know. Were you there when we did outliers?
Yes, boss. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
have you done
So
outliers before?
no. Okay, that was the last class that we did that was free. I know we did outliers, but like, we'll treat it now. We'll treat it now. Treat it now. Outliers. So let me quickly go to outliers. Let me quickly go to outliers. Outliers. So what are outliers? So outlier is I normally call outlier abnormally, not not abnormally, anomaly. You understand? I call it anomaly, something that is out of norm. Outliers. So when you have a data set and you observe something abnormal from the normal range, when you have a data set, you observe something abnormal from normal thing you are trying to get. I gave a scenario. Let's say you now, okay, you know that you quality officer, you visit hospitals. And let's say you are trying to visit the top 5 hospitals under Ilerico, the Korodus, the big giants, the Alimoso GH, and co. And you know normally that they see or they conduct like 10 to 10 to 15 CS in a week. That's what you are expected. You understand? And then when they now go in a week, you visited them, you are seeing them recording 100 CS. It's an outlier. You understand? Can you hear me? Am I talking to myself alone? Hello, Martins.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you.
Exactly. So when you visit and you now find out that probably in 1 week, instead of the 10 to 15 CS that is the norm, they're having 100 CS conducted in Ikorodu GH and co. You flag it up as an outlier. Then, now in this presentation, see what I wrote down as outliers. Outliers in a data is an observation that lies in an abnormal distance. So it's abnormal from the other values in random sample or subset. Okay? Or population. So in statistics, an outlier is a piece of data far from the rest. So if you are seeing your data, the range of data, you know what you're expecting. Then when you look at it, it's far from the rest. You know that currently there is a situation where people say United States of America, as civilized as they are, they have the highest gunshot related deaths in the world. Is an outlier. So gunshot related death is supposed to be seen among countries that are poor, countries that have unrest, countries like Afghanistan, Pakistanis, Nigeria, you get. So in the Boko Haram northern area, you're supposed to be seeing people die. But now you're in US that does not have terrorism. US is leading. So US is an outlier in that data. Okay. So now, example is, I said example. Example is when you have a clustered dots that are clustered together, and then you see another dot that is far at the top. So now, and I make another state. I say in a layman's understanding, an outlier is anything that stays or strays apart from the norm. And I said, if you like, let's say in a tent, people sleep within a tent in their family. Or let's say now, okay, normally people go to bed to sleep. You have a family of 6 people that go to bed to sleep. And one night you wake up, Obi that is supposed to be sleeping on the bed has gone out in front of the gate to keep his own bed to sleep. That guy is an outlier. He's either he don't smoke colos or something like that. You need to check him. So that is outliers. So now, what are the causes of outliers? We have human errors. Exactly. When people are entering data. That's why data validation is very, very important. When you're trying to capture data and people capture it and they keep typing and get tired, they can make mistake and enter error that will cause an outlier. 2, instrument errors. Now, when you are checking your weight in the hospital and you know that your weight, you weigh 75, and then you now go and check, you are seeing your weight as 105, and they will record it down for you. That's the weighing scale is having an error. You understand? Instrument error is an example of another thing that causes outliers. Then data processing error. When you are processing our data, my brother, this one happens to us very well in Lashma. Prognosis is having hitches and glitches. Sometimes when we make a pool, bro, we see something that is an outlier. You get, so that's another one. Sampling errors, when you extract data from wrong sources. Then not an error. The value is what's okay. So now there's something I need to let you know. Are you hearing me? Note. Can you hear me, Patis?
Yes, I'm with you, bro.
Okay, so note. Outliers does not mean that your data is wrong. So as a data analyst, don't assume that when you see something, this thing is wrong, it's wrong. No. Outliers does not say that your data is wrong. That is why when you see outlier or when you notice an outlier in your data or subset of data, you should investigate to be sure if it is wrong, and then you can treat outliers. So let's continue. Types of outliers. We have 3 main types: global outliers, contextual outliers, and collective outliers. Global outlier. Now, a global outlier is a point of data that when you see the value far from the entire outset. So look at this now. This is the normal data point. And then you see, this is the range. When you're looking at this, sometimes when I'm doing calculations or doing sales agents performance, I'm seeing that this is, let's say this person registered 200 people. This person, all of them are registering within 200 and 500. You will not see one guy registering 3,000. What happened? You can't say, it is wrong. It's an outlier. You now need to ask,
Now they
investigate.
register the whole Lagos state.
Exactly. So some people like Bolu, they get that kind of thing. So Bolu is actually an outlier when it comes to that guy is a very top performer. So when you look at it, you say, this guy is doing something fishy. You will not try and go and investigate. Then investigate. There are a lot of times he has been thrown out in the field. He was not in the office. At that time we thought that because he was sitting in the office, you get. So if people bring their own registration, he will coincide it to himself. No. They pulled him out from the office and sent it to the field, and yet he was still performing. So that's the thing. You get. So this is global outlier. Next one is contextual outlier. Example is when you have this. Normally, this contextual outlier is a condition. Like when you see something that is doing good, see what is happening. This trend is actually doing good. Green, 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 green. And all of a sudden, you see bad. It happens in sales data most times. Or time series data, when you're having a very good sales, and 1 month, you notice, there was no more sales. Then there's a condition for that. Global outlier, what you'll notice between the differences. Global outlier is like out of the norm. This guy is top performing. What's happening? He shines people's eye. This is global. Contextual, like there's a condition that made something that happened. Like, why are we not having good sales this month? Is it because there is rain, or is it because the Lagos people don't want chop mango again? Now I know they sell my mango again. You get, that's a context, it's a condition. Then the last is collective outliers. Now we have a group of people that are surrounding here, and then another set of groups surrounding at the top there. This is contextual. We have a collection of you get. So now let's keep going. Skewness in outliers. There's something we call skewness in outliers. So we're going to explain it, and then I'll show you the type we have. We have 3 types already: zero, negative, and positive. Zero skewness, negative skewness, and then positive skewness. Then skewness in outliers. What does skewness mean? Wow. Skewness in outlier means what it means is that when something is veering away from a symmetrical bell curve, skewness, because of the name skew, it is skewed. So it's supposed to be symmetrical from top to the tail, and then you see the skewness shifts. So we actually use mean, median, and mode to do and identify skewness. So what is skewness used for? It is used to detect types of outliers in a data set, and it helps us to show the trends. Okay. Then example, zero skewness, which is normal distribution of graph. A graph is supposed to have a bell curve to show both the mean, mode, and median in the center of the graph. What's happening? Did he say 10 minutes to go? Martins?
No, it didn't show me timeout here.
Okay, fine. I had something I was thinking. So now negative skewness.
No,
So
not
normally your
timeout.
graph is
Let's continue.
normally your graph is supposed to be show. I'm going to show you. Let me show you the graph. I think yes, exactly. This is your normal group. Your normal skewness 0. Both your mean, median, and mode is supposed to be in the middle. This is a normal graph. Then this negative, skew to the what? To the right. Positive, skew to the left. So this is supposed to be the normal skewness of graph. When you plot a graph, it's supposed to show this. At some point, it starts well, and then it ends. It's at a starting point and an ending point. Then you can be able to define that your mean, your median, and mode should be somewhere in the middle at the center. But when you have negative, it will start bad, and at some point, it will start going high to skew to the right. This skew to your right, okay? Negative. When it skews to your right, it's negative. Skews to the left, it starts doing well, and at some point, it would slope down. Positive, skew to the left. So this is a pictorial graph of skewness in outliers. Let's move. Dealing with outliers. How do we do with outliers? There are some popular concepts we know. You drop the outliers to prevent skewing the data. Example is, let me show you example. Let me just say it somehow. Now, when you are told to gather data among pregnant women 18 to 35, and you see in your data somebody of age 8, isn't that an outlier? So now, are you going to say this is wrong? No. Remember, I told you don't always say outliers that data is wrong. It's not wrong. Try to investigate. Either place a call to the person to know if it is a human error that typed it. So now, when you now place your call and you cannot get the person, you can actually drop that data. Can remove it. Dropping is by deleting that data. You take off that data entirely. But mind you, when you're trying to drop, make sure that the significance is not much. Can you hear me? Or am I talking to myself alone? Martins, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, fine. Then 2 is cap them. When you cap, now you are trying to, let's say you are trying to, let me use another value. Let me use another scenario. Let's say you are trying to, gather or pay top 5 sales agents in Lashma. And then you're not seeing, Bolu is at the top. And after Bolu has 800 this month. The next person has 150. The next person have 50. The next person have 30. The next person that is supposed to be having 10. Say, what's happening? Man, bro, what you just do is, from Bolu, you try to add the remaining people. And then cap something on top of them. You add something on top. Something like you try to add, like, okay, if you get them, okay, since after Bolu got 800, the next person is having 50, the next person having 20. You just probably add like 100 on top of each of them. That's capping. So that the outlier will not look so much. That's what you just do. You just add 100 figures on each. So the person that is now having 50 is having 150. The person that is now having 20 is having 120. You get. So that when you are presenting the data, it doesn't look, it will be looking too absurd. How can Bolo have 800 and the next person is having 50 and the next person having 20? That's capping. You cap, you get. You add some maximum points so that you assign outlier. Then, third one is double check. and then use nominalization. So this use nominalization, we won't do it in this class, we'll do it in the next class. I'll show you. I don't have the data, I didn't download the data, I lost the data. I'll download the data and then we'll do how to use nominalization to treat outliers. Just remind me. Okay, so that's all about outliers.
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll quickly go to functions. In the last class we did the basic aggregate, abi? Basic aggregate functions, and then we did conditional functions. Can you remember?
Yes,
Right?
please.
Okay, so now today we are going to be doing Vlookup, the almighty vertical lookup or lookup functions. Let's quickly go to, if you have your Excel, open it again, and then we quickly go to functions. Let me call this what's this? This is referencing, cell referencing, cell referencing. So we are treating. Did you got that document we shared? The document that had our topics that we'll be treating. Let me show you the document. It's here.
That
We shared it.
function, or which one?
No, there's a document we shared. This document from Data Basic Hub, our training program course outline. If you watch the training program, it's supposed to span into 12 weeks or 3 months. You get? And we almost
Okay, this
treated most
document
of
on
the.
the WhatsApp share on the group.
We shared it. I've almost treated almost all the things from week 1 and week 2. And week 3, we are in week 3, which is we are still in week 2, but we are in module 3. We have done data cleaning now. We did data cleaning to remove duplicates, errors, and that. We did
Yes.
the data validation. Then
You
we have
don't
not done
validate.
handling. Yeah, we have not done handling errors. We'll do this one
Yes.
quickly. We have not done handling errors.
No, we have
We have,
not handled error.
we have not done text to columns. We'll do that too. That's next class.
No, no, not
Okay.
done. I've not seen.
Okay, no problems. So there are a lot of things we need to actually do. The time is the time. Okay, fine. So now let's quickly go back to functions. So if you are on VLOOKUP, go to the VLOOKUP exact match.
VLOOKUP what? Exact match.
Exact
Let me
match.
see.
Exactly. Sheet.
Okay.
So we have VLOOKUP, exact, and approximate match. So now, let's say we have these data sets, and we are told what is the item. Look at this data. You find out if you, as a data analyst, when you see your data, you try to understand it first. What is it telling? It's showing us just other dates of sales that were made by sales reps. You understand? Some reels and the region and the items they actually sold, units and unit cost. And then I ask you a question: what did Emeka sell? This question is telling you what item did Emeka sell. Emeka is what? Under which column? Rep.
Emeka is a rep.
Exactly. Then I ask you what item did Emeka actually sell? So you are trying to pick up Emeka as a rep. So type Emeka.
That's a
Abi?
book.
Exactly. And then the item, the question
Yes,
is what
please.
item did it sell? So now when you have such thing like this, is vertical lookup. VLOOKUP is vertical. Is looking up on things that are what? Arranged vertically. All these data is arranged vertically.
Okay, things that are arranged vertically.
Yes, is VLOOKUP. They are arranged vertically in columns. Horizontal is arranged in rows. We are going to do HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup. H, from the word H.
That
VLOOKUP is
H, why they be like hook up for my eyes?
now you go no.
That's in a hook up.
Okay, so we're going to do VLOOKUP now. Equal to VLOOKUP. Next thing is look at your argument in your brackets. What is telling you? First thing is what? Lookup value. Abi? What's your lookup value? Your lookup value is Emeka. That is what? The rep. Exactly. You pick what? Emeka. Comma. Abi? Follow what this is telling you. Table array. Table array now is telling you should where do you want to actually look up Emeka? That's the question. When you see table array, it's like a range. Range in Python is called array. Python is called array. In SQL, it's also called array sometimes. Sometimes it can be called the range. So in Excel, it's called array. It's also is a range. So when you see array, it's trying to then say, okay, yeah, you want to look at something inside this range, inside this from here to here. So now, note when you are performing your VLOOKUP, try to make sure that your lookup value comes before the column of your what? Array. Are you understand what I'm trying to say? Are
You
you
said
understand?
the lookup value should come before the.
Yes, the lookup value should always come before the what? The array. See what it says. Always start your table array from the lower lookup value column. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I said I didn't use this English too much. I said make sure that your table array, the lookup value column, comes before it. So now we are trying to look for what item. The question is item. Item is on what column E, right? Right? I'm going to show you why this is important. I will do something and then do it again. Now, table array now is supposed to look from here, right? You're looking up for what item Emeka sold. Emeka is column D, rep. Item is column E. So here, rep is actually before item, which is column E, D and E, which is fine. So now we're going to start again. Make sure you start from your lookup value column and then copy. You can copy it anywhere. You can even pick everything if you want. But necessarily, when you are doing VLOOKUP, you shouldn't actually look for picking everything if you know what you want to return from your table array. Okay? So now when I do this, next thing I'm going to do is what? Am I locking or not? I like to lock. Function F4. The reason why I like to lock is so that it doesn't spill away from what I have selected, the range. When you lock this range, if you watch now, I selected this. Let me press Ctrl Z. I selected this range. Are you seeing it? D1. What's D1? D1 is rep to what? H14. H14 is what? This. So it's starting from D1 rep to lock everything to H14. So if I lock this, I'm telling Excel, please, whatever I'm looking for, do not go out of this range. It has locked it. I'll press comma. Now the next thing is what is happening? What happened now? Sorry. I pick it again. Function F4. Next thing is what? Comma. Then column index number. What does it mean? Which column is your item falling on? That's the question. Column index number is the column you want to actually return. So now because I've selected from this, can you hear me? From this to this.
Yes,
Right?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Because I've selected from this to this. Now, the column index number is this column I am trying to return, which is item Emeka bought. Item is on what? Column 2 in this range. Because this rep remains my column 1, column 2. So I press 2. Then comma. Now, exact or approximate match. Now, I'm trying to get what? Exact. I'll tell you why sometimes we use approximate match. But at the moment, we are using what? Exact. Because we want to find what Emeka actually sold. If it is not Emeka, don't bring it out. That is what? Exact. False. I press enter. So now if you see, Emeka actually sold book, right? Yes. So that answer is answered. That question is answered. So now what happened? Let me try to move CO. I'll select this column, item, and take it to the back. So selecting it from the top like this, I'll hold shift and navigate to see something that looks like asterisk, like this. Left click and hold, drag it to the back. What happened? What happened? Can you see?
Yeah, it's still saying Emeka now.
You see Emeka, Emeka is what we typed. We didn't do VLOOKUP there.
Yes.
But on item, what is it showing you?
20.
Exactly. So is it item? Is 20 an item? 20 is now
No,
what?
no, no.
20 is now what? The units.
20 is the unit, yeah.
Exactly. So now, have you seen the importance of this? That's why I said, make sure your lookup value, which is your rep, comes before your table array column. That's the rules of VLOOKUP. So many people they do VLOOKUP. They do VLOOKUP. We know how to do. Do you know how to do VLOOKUP? Okay. I went to an interview one day, and someone said, question was, can you give me 3 rules of VLOOKUP? You know these are rules. These are the rules of VLOOKUP function. 3 rules of VLOOKUP function. First rule, always make sure what my lookup value column is before the table array. Number 1. That's first rule.
The table
First
array is that the table array is the group of this thing we are working with, right? Like that from rep to unit cost and total. Is that table of array?
Okay. Now is from the question. How do you know a table array? Is from your question. They ask you what item did Emeka sell. So now Emeka is your lookup value. Emeka rep. You understand? Because it's from it's Emeka that we're going to use to get what is here. I don't know if you get. Let's say now, sometimes they might not even give you Emeka. They might give you unique identifier number, or policy number. We don't have unique ID here. If I thought they gave you unique ID and say 100000 or something like this becomes your unique, what do you call it? Lookup value. When they have unique IDs or policy numbers, and they say, let's say we have policy number, and they now ask you, what item did this rep, the rep with this ID sell? And if you come and see the ID somewhere here, and then see item before it, try to rearrange that column before you run it. I don't know whether I get what I'm trying to say. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, please.
Okay. Let me try it out. I know you don't get it. So let me say now,
Okay, wait, before you go and do the unique identifier, this Emeka, can we redo it by selecting everything again so that I can confirm if I actually understand this one before we go and do the unique identifier?
That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now you have this rep Emeka. Let's say Emeka is here. Let me even remember how I shifted this thing. Mind, I selected this entirely, held my shift button on my keyboard and dragged. Let's say Emeka is here now. And then I ask you, what item did Emeka sell? Now, Emeka is your lookup value because he's a rep already, Emeka. You have been provided with
Yes.
rep, Emeka, and they are telling you to return the item. So your lookup value is Emeka. And you are seeing Emeka at the last column. And the item that is supposed to be what you are going to return is before the lookup value, the rep. It
Okay.
has already defaulted the first rule of VLOOKUP. So when you see things like this, if you go to interview anywhere, first thing you should do is what? To rearrange that column and make sure you carry where your lookup value is column. Drag it to be before your array, what you are going to be returning. See, okay? So now we have to return an item Emeka sold. So you make sure you carry this. And even if you drag it, you can even drag it to be here so that it comes first. Or Control Z, let me do Control Z. You just drag it to come before the item. Simple. I don't know, you get me now?
Yes, I get now. I get
Exactly.
now.
You
So
must
I
make
can
sure
drag it before the other date, and I can also drag
you
it
can drag it
before the
before.
region.
Let's drag it before the other date and work now. We're going to work, but now we're going to be referencing the column index number is going to be like 3 or 4. Watch. Let's do it now. Equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value, you make sure you pick up here first. Emeka. comma, table array. Make sure you
comma.
start from the column of the rep. You understand? So you pick from here now. What are you trying to return? You're trying to return item. You can stop here or you
Item.
continue. Or you
Okay.
continue. You can stop here or you continue. You can
Mm-hmm.
even pick the entire table. And always lock F
Lock.
function
That's
F4. Function F4.
function
F4.
F4.
Or just do F4. Now you press comma. Column index number now. Now your lookup value becomes the first column 1, second column 2, third column 3. Item is on column what? 4. You are trying to return item. You press what? 4. You will make sure you know. Comma.
Okay. Okay. I get it now.
Then exact match. False. Book. Emeka sold book. So this is the first rule of what? Vlookup. Make sure first that your what? Lookup value comes before table array column. That is it. So your lookup value must be the first column, then others can follow. Then approximate match. You get it now? Let's move. I want us to treat even if it's at least the 3 or 4 then, because our time is almost going to close. Let's treat approximate match. You get that, right? So now approximate match.
Yes. Yes.
Why
Yes.
why do we use approximate match? See, watch what is happening here. It says, see, find the units made by Lola. Look at your rep. Do you see Lola there? Is Lola there?
No. 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 I'm not saying Lola there.
Exactly. I'm trying to alter something. Can you let me alter something first? See what I'm going to do.
Do you want to
I'm going to
include Lola?
no, I'm not going to include it. Now that I have these values, these reps here, I want to sort it to be from Z to A. I'm going to sort it. So go to home, go to your sort, Z to A, and then expand selection. So I use expand selection. The difference between expand, let me do Control Z. The difference between expand selection and continue with the current selection is I selected this range, went to home, came to sort and filter, Z to A, right? Expand selection will
Yes.
tie other columns and rows to be sorted
Exactly. I was
accordingly.
going to ask that.
It will tie
Exactly. I
them
was
to be
going to
sorted.
ask.
So it will be tied to sort accordingly. So expand it, yes. If I'm trying to expand it, I'm trying to tie a link. There's a link between this other date to this region. Try to link them for me. But if I say continue with this current selection, when you do this, you have
It's only that column. It will just
exactly
change.
when you do this, you have altered your data. Don't do that. Always expand selection. So now expand selection now. So now watch what happened. P becomes at the first, and then Bruno, which is B, comes down. I know the reason why I did this. Now, when you have something like this and they say, what is the revenue made by Lola? Lola is not in the rep, right? It's not. This is where you use
Yes.
approximate match. Sometimes when you go and so people said some people have never used approximate match and they don't know why they use approximate match. So now, see, note, let me tell you, in every approximate match, VLOOKUP considers the highest value and returns the sales made by the next value. Let me leave this English and explain it for you. Leave this English. So now what I'm trying to explain here is why I did that sort is I sorted from Z to A. Like that's descending order. Is normally Lola is L, abi L, right? L Lola. So if you do your A B C D E F G H I J K L, right? So you have J and K before you see L, right? Are you understanding me? Are you hearing me? Martins. Hello, Martins. Oh, has this thing ended?
Yes, bro. I can hear you. I'm with you.
Okay. So you are going to see IJK before you see L. So it's supposed to return something that is higher before. So immediately after J, this Jaro, it will return something. It will return either Jarol or Markfish that is higher because Lola is not there. IJKL. So it will run Jarol or Markfish. So let's run it. So that's what it will do. It will return the next value. That's it. It will return the one that is previous highest value before you can see L. So you see IJKL. So J comes before L, K comes before L. So if I have a name that has K and the K is high, it will return J, something like that. That's what it's trying to say. So because L is not here and you do approximate match, it's going to return J for you. Let's run and see. So now the rep is not there. So we just do Lola. Lola is a rep. Units that was sold equal to Vlookup Lola. Now the first rule has been met here already. First rule that says your lookup value column must be before the array B. It has been met because rep is here and the unit is here. Okay, so we can say this and can pick from this. Okay, units to this, and we'll lock comma. What happened? I didn't even pick. Sorry, I didn't pick Lola. Pick Lola now. This comma. The array.
Pick Lola before now.
Yeah, I did not. Okay, I did. Okay. I did.
You did. I didn't know why
Okay.
it says
So now we'll lock comma. So now, what are we looking for? We are looking for units, right? And units fell on which column? 1, 2, 3. Column 3.
Unit is on the third column.
Exactly 3. So comma. Now we are doing approximate, not exact, because Lola is not here.
Okay.
So we want to see anything approximate. So it's not going to pull us exact match. Exact match is if it is not Lola, don't bring any other thing. But approximate, if you can't find Lola, bring the nearest. That's what it means. So we'll select this and press enter. See what happens.
Which one did you select? Hold on, which one did you select?
I selected approximate.
You said since we cannot find Lola, we are supposed to pick what?
You're going to use approximate match because Lola is not there. If you can't find Lola, use the nearest.
Okay.
Approximate. Exact match is it must be this person. Oh, if you can't see this person, then leave it. Approximate is when you don't see the person. That's why I'm using approximate match. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you press enter. 45. Now when you look 45, what is 45? Who is 45 on the list?
Shelf, Bruno. The last one.
You brought this, right? Now,
Yes.
see what happened. He brought this, right? Because something happened, we didn't arrange this in approximate order. Let's redo it. And that's why I first of all altered it for
Sort.
you. Exactly. So you make it not go confused. Expand. So what are you seeing now? 50, Abi?
Yes.
Is it not Jaro? 50 is Jaro.
Yes, this
Exactly.
is Jaro.
Now, I know the reason why I first altered it, so that you wonder. If I didn't alter it, you will not understand. So now, Lola comes, Jaro comes before L, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
Because you cannot, and because you cannot, you see here IJKL, and because you cannot see L, Lola, it will go and bring Jarol for you because Jarol is the previous J.
Okay. To bring previous
Exactly.
before that thing you want.
Exactly. So that's approximate match for you. That's why the first time
So,
before I started doing this. Yeah. So now when you have a data set like this and you are looking for a value that is not there, first of all, your lookup value, go and sort it. Go and sort it.
again now.
My brother was calling me.
I didn't hear you. Your network have pursued me.
Sorry, Jare. Somebody was calling me. My brother was
Oh,
calling
okay.
me. I use my phone. I'll go and buy my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is spoiled. I'll buy another one. Sorry. This guy know they hear something. So you have to first of all sort your lookup value column in alphabetical order or ascending order before you perform approximate match. That's what I want to let you
So
know.
preferably it should be in A to Z, not vice versa.
Exactly. That's why I first of all sorted it
Okay.
so that we will have a mistake. You know, I explained it for you that it's the first time to first
Yes,
of all
please.
bring J first before L because Lola was not there. So that's why I first of all had to like sort it. And when we sorted it to Z to A, computer made mistake. He failed. You understand? So normally it's supposed to bring Jaro's units for me because Lola is not there. So J is let's try and put let's put somebody K. Let's put K now here. Let's put somebody Kingfish and see what will happen. And okay, let's change it to 75. Are you seeing it? It has brought Kingfish. So IJK before
Yes.
L. Exactly. So now you get it
Yes,
right?
yes.
Exactly. So
Yes, please.
that's for approximate match. So now you this is the second rule of VLOOKUP. So the next one is only links to the right. Okay. I don't know if you understand this. This is another rule. So now this is just like is a bit similar to this rule that we say that your
What
lookup
did you
value
say?
must this one now, that VLOOKUP only looks to the right is a bit similar to this stuff I told you that your lookup value must first of all come up before your table array. I don't know if you get. Hello? Are you with me? Has this ended? Has it ended? Martins, can you hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Oh, okay. So I said this is like that first one. Okay. So now here, what is going to happen here is that we want to just tell you that VLOOKUP only looks to the right. It doesn't look to the left. So you cannot have
Okay.
something and be looking to the left. Just like when you have this now, you say, what date did Eben make his sales? And you have rep, and I say Eben. Eh? Eh? And Eben is
Yes,
here,
I'm.
right? And you're trying to return
Yeah.
other dates. You can't come and say
Okay, it can't look
Eben.
to the left.
Exactly. That's this. That's another
So that
rule.
means we have
So
to bring that other date to this right hand side to the back.
yeah, good. You have got it. There's no. I don't even need to perform this one. You can go and do it yourself. Yeah, that's it. You get it. So that's another rule of VLOOKUP. It looks to the right. So other date must have to come. You get sharp, normal,
Wait.
normal. You get it.
Uh,
So I don't even need to do this one. So I'll move to the
wait.
next. Now VLOOKUP returns first match. So the reason why we are performing all these things is by the time you perform all these things, yeah, if even you can say, I actually know what VLOOKUP is. A lot of people, have you ever used VLOOKUP? Yes, okay. What is 3 rules of VLOOKUP? You don't know. You have not used it before. You understand? So now in this stuff, I have Jarod and Bruno appearing 2 times. But now this one says VLOOKUP returns only the first match. So it cannot return the second person. Now watch what will happen. We are trying to see the units sold by Bruno and Jaro respectively. And you are seeing Bruno 2 times, Abi. And you are seeing Jaro 2 times. And in those 2 times, they sold 2 different units respectively. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Hello? Bruno
Yes.
here, Bruno here has
Okay.
30 units sold for paper cutter. Jaro here has 50 units sold for book. Second Jaro, second sale he made, he has 50. And let me change it to 45. 45 for folder. And then Bruno has 45 for shelf. So let's return and see what will happen. Equal to VLOOKUP Bruno. It will only return the first one. You're not going to look the second one at all. Okay? Lookup table array. Let's just use these 3 columns and then do 3, comma. No, let's lock it. So let's lock, make it no go fuck up. Comma, 3, comma. Exact match, abi? So what did he return? Bruno returned the
30.
first one, 30. Why didn't he return this one? Is this not Bruno too? It
If I
is,
was going
but
to ask.
yes, that's the rule of
Okay,
VLOOKUP.
the first match.
It will return the
Okay.
first match. Why did you ask yourself? Why did
Yeah.
he return this 45? You get. So the same
Because
thing.
maybe it's following that order now. So yeah,
Exactly,
same thing
he
order.
follows the order. So now I'm just coming to come here, Jaro, and I'll change it
Okay,
to
the same rule will now apply to the second one when you drag down.
exactly. Jaro is 50. I just copied the function. See what happened? I didn't have to type it. I copied and pasted, and it
Yeah.
automatically did. Now what you can see now, see the importance of referencing. What happened? I locked this, Abi. Yes, and I
Yes.
left this one relative. So that's why this one was able to change from B20 to B21 immediately, and it gave me Jaro 50, and this is Jaro first one. So now we have done relative reference for it. So if you watch this formula now, you'll find out that this B20 and 21 is relative. That's why it was able to change and pick Jaro. So now, if I'm talking in terms now, you understand what we're talking. So now Jaro is the first one I picked. He didn't pick Jaro 45. Are you getting it? So that's it. So case sensitive is someone who asks. There's a question that somebody asked me yet. Okay, I was in a class with what's these guys? V Tech Hub for Africa, Digital Tech Hub for Skill Up Africa. Is a tech hub
Okay.
for. It's an NGO that runs tech skills for medical professionals all over Africa. So somebody asked me if VLOOKUP is case sensitive. So now someone can ask you that question: is VLOOKUP case sensitive? See, in this thing now, we will use this to know if VLOOKUP is actually case sensitive. You know, we have Bruno that is full capital letter, and
Yeah.
another Bruno here that
That
is
is
what?
first capital alone.
Yeah. This one is this case is called. This one is called proper case. See the cases that we have here. We have proper equal to. We will do that function. Proper. See, let's change this. Sorry. This is proper. This one is proper case. This one is what's that other one? Where's my come here? Where's my text functions? Come in, I'm with you. Where's my text functions? Yeah. So that one is upper and lower. Sorry. Going back to my stuff. So this is proper case. We have proper case. We're still going to do it. We have upper case, and then we have lower. So this one is upper case.
Lower case, yeah.
All the cases are capitalized.
Upper case.
Yes, upper. Lower case is all are small letter. Lower case
It's
will
all
be
small letter.
yeah. This one will be lower. This is lower case Bruno. Then this one is Bruno. This upper. This upper. This is lower, and this is proper. Proper case is sentence case. Okay, so now this is upper case now. With this now, is Bruno is VLOOKUP case sensitive. Let's work. Equal to VLOOKUP. You pick this, comma, and pick from the rep. What are we returning? Return what revenue was generated. B. Revenue is total. So lock F. What happened? Sorry. Lock of function F4, comma, and the revenue is total cost as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma, exact match. 120. 120 what? Let's turn it to dollars, I beg, or naira. Let's turn it to accounting. So 120 Guinea, 120 naira. So you will find out that with this question, VLOOKUP is not case sensitive. Can you hear me? Martins, can you hear me? Hello, Martins. Martins, can you hear me? Martins. Hello, am I talking to myself? Well, Martins, can you hear me? I think we'll stop here. I stop here.